Hi everyone, welcome back again to the channel today. My name is Abimbola. If today is your first time of seeing my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Hit on the subscribe button and also turn on your notification bell if you are interested in everything sewing tutorial and pattern drafting, okay? Because that's what we do here on this channel. So guys, in today's tutorial, I want to share with you all how to cut a 180-degree long flare, which will be attached to a dress. Now, this particular procedure, this method goes for whatever part of the dress you want to place the flare. The flare can be placed as a sleeve, just what we have on the screen, and it could also be attached to a dress, exactly what we are creating today. And also the flare can serve as just a skirt. So whichever you want to achieve, this method applies to all. So guys, now let's get right into today's tutorial. Now, the first thing I'll be doing are just basic calculations on how to go about cutting the flare and also folding the fabric. So for this particular dress, I'm working with waist 37, plus I'll be adding the seam allowance for the zipper at the back, which is 2 inches, and that would make it 39. The full length I am working with here is 57, and this measurement is taken from your shoulder to the floor, and in this case I have 57. The half length for the dress is 17. That is from your shoulder to the waist. That measurement is from your shoulder to the waist. So these are the basic measurements which I need. Now, to get the skirt length, which we'll be using to cut the flare, I will minus my full length from the half length, and this will give me 40. So this is the skirt length for my flare. So we are using 40 to cut the flare as the length and 39 for the waist. Now, to get the radius of our flare, to get the radius we'll be using to cut this 180-degree flare, I'll go ahead and do a little calculation. So the waist plus the zipper allowance, which is 39, divided by 3.14. Now, 3.14 is a standard value, and it is used to calculate for your 180-degree flare. So just divide your waist by 3.14, and whatever that gives you will serve as the radius. So whatever that gives you will serve as the radius. So here I got 12.4. So this is the radius for this particular waist measurement. Now the next thing I'll be doing is to add up this 12.4 that we got plus the skirt length. So this will help us to fold the fabric. Now we move to how to fold your fabric. That is your skirt length plus the radius which you just calculated. And this will give me 52.4. So this 52.4 is what I will use to fold my fabric. Now this is it. Let's keep the calculation aside. You can see that my Ankara fabric is folded into two already. So the length which I used in folding this, is 52.4. So the exact value that I got from the calculation. You can zoom in to see that. Now at this point, you can decide to add 1 inch to the length of the flare for the allowance. So, but for me, I made use of the exact value that I got, which is 52.4, to fold my Ankara fabric into two. Now, after this first fold, I would also be folding my fabric again into a triangle form, just exactly what you see here. Now, this 180-degree flare is also called a triangle flare, and you can see the exact pattern in which I folded this fabric to get the triangle shape. So, like I said, the first thing you need to do is to fold your fabric using the length you calculated. That's your radius plus your skirt length. And then the next thing you need to do after getting that is to fold again into triangle form. So you can see now what I have on the screen. Now, after folding my fabric into triangle form, you will notice that the length of this Ankara fabric do not match at the tip. So this is because Ankara is by 45 and the length which I am working with here is 52.4. So I need to cover up for that shortage that we have at the tip of the Ankara fabric. So what I'll be doing is to bring the other fabric that I have left. I'll fold it into two. And then at the part where I have the shortage, you can see where I'm touching. At that part where I have the shortage, I will then place the folded Ankara fabric. I'll place it on it like so, ensuring that they overlap each other like about 0.75. inches overlap. So I'll place it on each other like so, and then I'll go ahead and pin it down. Now, after securing it down with my pins, the next thing I would do is just to retake the length which I am working with, which is 52.4 in this case, and then I'll mark it. And on that length which I just marked, which is 52.4, I'll flip my Ankara fabric like so, and then I'll fold it like that so that the two um, fabric would blend at the end of the day. So you can see the way it is. I'll go ahead now and cut it out such that they now have the same length, and then the part where we have the shortage is actually covered. And this is what I have after cutting it out. So I will set this aside now. So right now the fabric is matching up at the length. So the next thing I'll be doing is to take the radius which we calculated. So I would go ahead now. That's 12.4, which is the radius that we got after calculating. I'll go ahead now and mark on 12.4 on my tape rule. So I'll take it across from one point to the other end. Carefully, I will mark 12.4, ensuring that the tip of the tape rule rests on the tip of my fabric. I will take that 12.4 across from one edge of the fabric to the other edge of the fabric. So just exactly what you see me do here is the right way to take your radius for your flare. Now, after I'm done marking the radius, I'll go ahead and also take the length, which I calculated 52.4 for the flare. And just the same way my tape rule was resting on the tip of the Ankara fabric when I was taking the radius, that's the same way I have to go about marking the length. So I'll go ahead and mark 52.4, ensuring that the tape rule rests at the tip of the fabric. So I'll take this 52.4 measurement from one edge of the Ankara fabric into the other edge of the Ankara fabric. So I'll carefully take this measurement like so. Like I said, at this point, if you want to add extra allowance to the hem of your flare, just for turning or for the finishing of the hem, you can go ahead and add up 1 inch. But in this case, I am just maintaining this exact value for the gown, for the dress which I'll be making. So this is it. I'll take it across, and then I'm almost at the other end, and this is what we have after taking our length across the Ankara fabric. So right now I'll go ahead and cut it out, both the lengths that we just marked, and I'll also be cutting out the radius as well. So after cutting out the radius of the skirt and also the length, this is exactly what it looks like. Now the next thing I'll do is to show you the down part. That's the hem of the flare, which we added our extra fabric, and this is exactly what we have. I'm taking out my pins now, so this is what we have. You can see that part. So what I'll be doing is first to notch the center point of this folded fabric. I will notch it, and also notch the center of this flare like so. So these 2 points are the points which I would pin down together first. So I'll go ahead and match the points together like so, and I will secure it down with my pins. So from the center point which I just pinned, I will take it through to the other end. You can see what we have. I'll take it through like so, and then I'll secure it down with my pins. I'll just keep doing that till I get to the tip of the flare. So I'll repeat the same thing on the other side, and at this point, after I'm done, I'll take it to the sewing machine, and then I'll sew it down together. So with this, our flare is ready, and then we can go ahead, overlock it, and then attach it to the dress. Thank you all for watching today's tutorial. I'll see you all in my next tutorial. Bye.